everybody, this is Rupa and welcome back to my channel. As I told you already, the purpose of my videos is to help management students by providing them reference answers for management questions. So today we will discuss about the concept of demand and demand function, and I'll also explain the mechanism of demand function. And the main objective of this video is to show the reference answer for the question, what is a demand function, and explain the mechanism of demand function. In order to write a meaningful and full-fledged answer for this question, start with a brief explanation about the concept of demand, then write what is demand function, its meaning, and finally explain the types of demand function in detail. So let's get started. Concept of demand. Demand refers to the quantity of a commodity or a service that people are willing to buy at a certain price during a certain time interval. It can be termed as a desire with the willingness and ability to pay for a commodity. An increase in the price of a commodity decreases the demand for the commodity, while the decrease in price decreases its demand. The phenomena is termed as law of demand. In economics, demand doesn't just refer to the desire to buy a commodity. For example, the desire to buy Maruti car is universal, but such desire carries no significance. Let's know the concept of demand function. Demand function is an algebraic expression that shows the functional relationship between the demand for a product and its various determinants affecting it. This includes income and price along with other determining factors. Here, the demand for the commodity is the dependent variable while its determinants are independent variables. Meaning of demand functions. Demand functions are the factors that express the relationship between quantity demanded for a commodity and price of the commodity. Or in a line you can say that factors that determines demand. A demand function lists out the variables that are believed to have an influence on the demand for the product in question. In economics, we have two types of demand functions. Number 1, individual demand function. Number 2, market demand function. Let's know the mechanism of individual demand function. Individual demand function refers to the functional relationship between demand made by an individual and the factors affecting the individual demand. It shows how demand made by an individual in the market is related to its determinants. Mathematically, individual demand function can be expressed as dx equals to f of px, pr, y, t, f, where dx equals to demand for commodity x, px equals to price of the given commodity x, pr equals to price of related goods, y equals to income of the individual consumer, t equals to taste and preferences, and finally f equals to expectation of change in price in the future. That's all about the mechanism of individual demand function. Let me tell you about the concept of market demand function. Market demand function refers to the functional relationship between market demand and the factors affecting market demand. Market demand is affected by all the factors that affect an individual demand. In addition to this, it is also affected by size and composition of population, season, weather conditions, and distribution of income. Mathematically, market demand function can be expressed as follows. dx equals to f of px, pr, t, f, po, s, d, where dx represents demand for commodity x, px represents price of the given commodity x, pr represents price of related goods, Y represents income of the individual consumer. T represents taste and preferences. F represents expectation of change in price in future. PO represents size and composition of population. S represents season and weather. Finally, D represents distribution of income. Let me explain the determinants of demand function in detail. Number 1. Price of the given commodity. Other things remain constant. The rise in price of the commodity, the demand for the commodity contrasts. And with the fall in price, its demand increases. Number 2. Price of related goods. Demand for the given commodity is affected by price of the related goods, which is called cross-price demand. Number 3. Income of the individual consumer. Change in consumers' level of income also influences their demand for different commodities. Normally, the demand for certain goods increases with the increasing level of income and vice versa. Number 4. Taste and preferences. The taste and preferences of individuals also determine the demand made for certain goods and services. Factors such as climate, fashion affect the taste and preference of the consumers. Number 5. Expectation of change in price in future. If the price of the commodity is expected to rise in the future, the consumer will be willing to purchase more of the commodity at the existing price and vice versa. Number 6. Size and composition of population. The market demand for a commodity increases with the increase in the size and composition of the total population. Number 7. Season and weather. The market demand for a certain commodity is also affected by the current weather and conditions. And the final determinant of demand is distribution of income. In case of equal distribution of income in the economy, the market demand for a commodity remains less. With an increase in the unequal distribution of income, the demand for certain goods increase, as most people will have the ability to buy certain goods and commodities, especially luxury goods. So that's all about the concept of demand and its mechanism. And this is the answer which I prepared for this question. Hope this is useful, and I'll come back with more management topics. Until then, keep subscribing my channel and keep liking my videos. That motivates me to come up with more useful videos.